Hello, I'm Richard, and I'm going to give you an overview of my new application, Touch and Go Knitting. This is a knitting utility that's designed to help take the stress out of knitting math. Hopefully, with your thumb, you can do all the functions within this program. Okay, what will it do? You can do swatches, you can do buttonhole spacings, you can find a neckline instruction set, you can solve for evenly decreasing or increasing on a single row, which is often done in matching a collar to a sleeve, the ribbed portion of the cuff. In addition, there is a counter. It will do scarf, which is a rectangle. It will help you do sections of your raglan. It will do a triangle shape, which here I interpret as a shawl. And it has documentation and help files showing the touchable points on every screen. That's some of the hard things of using the iPhone and iPad is knowing where to touch. Okay, quickly over each of these inches and centimeters. You switch to centimeters, the system is in centimeters throughout. You only have one dimension showing on every screen, and that's dependent upon how you set it up in the swatch screen. Back to inches. Okay, you can use this to find a gauge. It calculates the gauge based upon the settings that you dial with your thumb on the rows and its width, and on the stitches and its width, and gives you the calculated row gauge. Now, notice that that's not what's in there. When you press the set button, it sets those numbers in there. If you saw that go in, it's in. This is in by 4 by 4 inches and 10 by 10 centimeters, but that's exactly the same as if it were by 1 inch, which equates 2.5 by 2.5 centimeters. Mostly, you'll just leave it here where it defaults in the 4 by 5 and 10 by 10 setting. Has the ability to take a picture of this page and add information about the needle size, weight, and the brand you're using, and then take a picture of it, which is really not a picture. You don't require a camera. Here it shows a failure, but that's because I'm on a simulator. On yours, it'll take the picture, put it in to your photo album, and save it, the date, the weight, and all the information about that swatch. Buttonholes have 6 different settings: the band height, the number of buttons, how wide each button is, and if you want it done in row-wise or stitch-wise, as well as a top and bottom margin. Place to see the expanded instructions. Necklines, these start looking all the same because they're easy to operate. Here we're actually, you're doing a cutout. It's a little different than a raglan. So here we'll be decreasing up each side as we knit, and we set the dimensions in. Change our stitch and row gauge if we must. Notice there's no decimal here. You type in 236 if you want 23.6. It saves having to fiddle around with a tiny little screen and makes it faster. So we go on. Dimensions along, evenly decreasing along one line. Nothing unusual here. The number here between the 2 yellow tapes, the 23, is the difference in stitches between the upper and lower. And then you look up at the top, it shows you how many stitches you were dialing and the instruction set. Quickly going on, you have 2 counters. You have a red counter and you have a right counter. Okay? They remember where they're at. They can be started in any place you want, and you can back them up if you need to. It has a memory, plus the lights don't dim on this. If you set it beside you while you're knitting and just reach over and smack the touch button. It will increment up and keep track for you, and it won't forget. The scarf, pretty simple. We're here. The only one that we want to take a look at documentation. By this, I mean reference. Um, Here is a guide on taking the stitch instructions and giving you an explanation of what that is. There's other documentation, and this will be added to as time goes on. And the touchable point is really kind of a help screen, as I showed you before. Okay, glad you stopped by. Hope this makes you better aware of what Touch and Go is capable of. Thank you.